Because it's hard, and when Butchie should have brought this little, would you have it in your pickup?
What's that?
Your word, a lily block, or your interpreting language?
I don't have that
you
stuff.
Don't have it. But anyway, see, and I was thinking, when Butchie reads it, those Bannock words are long, and you have to know how to pronounce it. But I think if I give you a crash course, you can get the basics of what Shoshone or Bannock language. Like when I tell you how to say it and what it means, you got to keep retain it in your head, because time's going to run out. All of you should be able to understand. No offense, it's my fault too, or white man's way. But I was thinking that you should learn to talk Indian. Ha, numero bueno. That translation means yes, I speak Indian. Bannock would say, aha, when he asked me. Right now I speak it this minute. Yeah. And stuff like that, you gotta have an accent. It's just not he knows what I'm talking about. It's tough. It's really hard to retain it, but I was thinking, I don't know, we should have classes at least twice a week or something like that. Your doctor, my JoJo's like him. He'll get it. But I don't know, it's just a thought. I don't know how many of you people are agreeable or have time. Time is of essence. It's important.
You know, a lot of phones will record too, and like if you could record her, that will help you. Like try to record as much as you can.
See, he just can. See, I'm proud of Butchie. He can, this Lily Blau, I always talk about him, but I was like Ray, or maybe like her, when I heard him speak to my grandmother when she was a thing act in the hospital, and she had a stomach problem, but he understood her. He was interpreting for my grandmother, Teton Teton. And so I got a chance to meet this professor, and he was studying all his Bannock languages with Liz Edmo, the real Liz Edmo, and all these old Bannocks and Shoshones, and he was just writing it down, and that's what Butchie got. He had to go to university in Nevada to get, because no one, what did they say about that, his paper that he left at ISU? They didn't want it. Maybe now's the time to tell him.
Well, it's the Fort Hall Library has a copy of everything there, but the librarian won't release it to anybody. But you could go, anybody could have access to it. It's University of Nevada, Reno.
You had to go get it.
And so I went down there and I got some things. I was down there for like 2 days, and I just was writing for 8 hours. I just wrote down everything. But it's in a real cryptic writing system. He had his own writing system, but we figured out all that, his symbols he used for different sounds. We figured all that out, and we created a practical writing guide, a writing system.
Way. It's simpler, a little simpler.
It's not easy to learn a language, though.
Yeah.
No doubt. It's hard.
I'm telling him that it's hard. We just have to tip of the iceberg, him and I.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's a shrinking domain of use. There's hardly anybody that speaks it anymore, so you don't hear it a lot. And so that's why it's good to record it. You can immerse yourself into it.
So it's, and I'd like to see you tease one another. It's hard, and but the girls be saying to each other, say, what are you doing? That's in Shoshone. And they'll say, oh, Helen, go up. Where's your husband? Remember that one.
Suzette and Dusty, Lenny, Nellie, Miriam.
What are you doing?
It was your picking that he
retaining it. See, that's just what I wanted to say, that I've been wanting to do that, but like time is important. You guys have to do this, you got to run over there, you got to work, stuff like that. But you got to have time for it, and time is just going. It's hard. Like Ida told me that they're trying to, I to tell you that, but she said now that their leader said, well, they're trying to record it.
Well, tell them why, because everybody here don't understand why Grandma is saying that now they're trying to record it with the Bannock language people that are trying to start their
But he already
language.
done it, see?
Yeah.
We already been through that, and he's got it written, he's got a book on it.
They wanted it to be the, in other words, oh, you have to ask me for it, right? Because I'm the only one that has it, that's why they...
Well, there's some of the Bannock speakers out there are against, like, writing it down or recording it. And that's just the way they are. They don't think it should be written down or recorded.
So you have to go to there to get to one.
Yeah, but it's hard to learn a language. Like, if you're really going to learn a language, you should, like, practice it, like, 20 hours a week. Yeah, but, you know, who could do that? You know, it's really hard to...
Yeah, like I think, too, that I could just speak
Yeah.
to them, and they got to return it, like, you remember that word, when you're going down the word, you got to remember it, see, how it's said, and what it means. And whether it's a Shoshone or Bannock word, I don't know what to teach you, Shoshone or Bannock. See, or either if you're smart, you can pick up what I'm saying, both languages. But it's,
The Bannock language is in more in danger than the Shoshone language. There's a lot more Shoshone speakers than Bannock speakers, and that's why we've been working on the Bannock mainly, because there's only like 24 speakers of Bannock left on this reservation. And so when that language goes, there's all that culture and history with that language that goes with it. And so it's important to, like, retain that, because you can't have your culture without your language. So
and that's what I was going to say, that, you know, it's just it's important that, and I think it's my fault too, but then I kind of blame the white man, and then your dad being sent to a Shimawa boarding school, and that Indian language is knocked out of him. I don't know if he spoke it, but see, and then he didn't want me to talk Indian. My mom spoke it. That's where it was, and but it's got terrible ways. So that's why my kids don't speak Indian.
I mean, he didn't speak it, he spoke it, but he didn't speak it all the time.
Well, it's hard to say.
Dad spoke a little bit. You remember you making fun of him when he was saying something, you know, and it didn't sound right to you. I remember that.
Because his mom is Shoshone. Not your grandma, your hoochie.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say something, but I forgot. But anyway, you guys got, and I could do it. You guys got to come over, but see, I can't go here and there, and it's very important that you learn at least the basics. So if somebody's talking about you, or someone's talking, you can hear them. You can act like you don't know, but you're retaining it. So yeah, see, like, cheated, but he's getting it.
And now that we have a big classroom here.
So how many, who all thinks that you'd want to learn it, thinks it's important to learn it? Raise your hand. Who all hold your hand up high? Who thinks it's important you know it?
I didn't support my kids know that. I didn't put it over good.
And they will try to do it faster.
You know, because they had a program at on PBS just this last week. It was a Wampanoag tribe in New York, and they were one of the first Indian tribes that was when the white man came over on the boat, and they're trying to retain their language now. There's just a few of them but their language was written down for them, so they're learning it. They got little girl like Monique and them's age, little tiny ones that are speaking it, but it's because they had one person that learned to speak it and is speaking it with them. And you have to know your roots to know where you came from. Because otherwise, if you don't teach your children where they come from, that the Shoshone Bannock or what the language was, you don't know your culture. And then you're going to have to learn from the white man. It's embarrassing when the white man tells you what the Shoshone Bannock people are about. You need to know that. You need to learn all you can from grandma or whatever, ask your questions, because it's going to be lost and it's embarrassing.
And remember when I tell you, because the moment passes, see, that's what I should have been doing to your kids too when you're little. But your grandma, at least my daughters, knew grandma when they were little, she spoke it to them and they could teach a few words and know what it means. The girls were more with my mom than Mitch. Mitch was, he was,
Being baby was with her lot.
with his father or, it's hard to get busy and teach, but, and then it's everyday living, you know. But now I'm going to have to make time and teach you, and then that's what I want to do, but then I don't know who all is interested, or whether we have pencils and tablets, but see, Butchie writes it out, and it's a long word, and you have to be able to pronounce all what he, you know, remember how we were doing about the dog, and
Yeah.
that owned the dog, and he was chasing this animal, and we'll try to decipher that. But Butchie's getting it, but he can, because he's got the knowledge of how to, his vowels and stuff. But I think if I give you a crash course, you guys can remember.
Like, starting right now, Mom, say, how do you say thank you? For everyone to know that, so it's easy for,
Well, that's what it goes again. See, there's no word for thank you in India. See, that's it. Not the way we thank you, but we walk away. But it's another way to say it. You don't see that's it. Butchie knows that. You just can't say thank you the white man way. The Indian way will say die. Oos. See, when they give you some, that means thank you, oos. That's in Shoshone. But when you ban it, you say pishayo.
That's right.
Very good.
Well, didn't I say that?
Well, see, you got it.
Yeah.
But that's not thank you, it's not kind of, it is good.
good.
Well, it depends on how you use it.
Yeah, see, that's it. Butchie knows that. Because certain words are tribal, where you just say so. Oh, how do I say that? But anyway, it's
Different meaning.
They have
different meaning and
it's a
it
different
throws it out.
culture. It's a different way of looking at the world. Like the language in it. There's words in like the language that is very short, but to explain in English you have to use like a whole long sentence. And then there's also English words that you'd have to explain it out in Bannock to make equivalent. The words aren't one-to-one equivalent. They're very. It's just a different way of looking at the world.
White man to say one word where Indian has to have feeling, or it depends on the moment and the circumstance too. The feeling, or the anger, or emotion, love.
Drama. What language do you want us to learn? It's too hard to learn Q for me. Why is this Shoshone? Which one do you want us to learn?
Start with English.
Well, I don't know, Shoshone maybe because there's more, but then Bannock's getting gone, so maybe you should just be Bannock.
You know, since I've been learning Bannock, they're really closely related language. They're like German and English. But from learning Bannock, I could kind of pick out what Shoshone is saying.
So we made it fun Bannock because I don't want to teach my kids to go back and forth. I'd rather just know one and just learn the other.
They could always go to ISU and learn Shoshone from Priscilla. But Mom is here and she's getting older and it's really hard to pick up from Mom. Right here, Mom?
Well,
Yeah.
it's Bannock, Grandma, that's it then.
Yeah.
Help you with the Bannock, the kids, everybody.
I don't know. And then maybe if you learn something here, you could go over to Berkeley and maybe see how they're doing it.
Well, all of us like this, but we all think, what the hell?
But they're just over there, they're not conversing or anything here. They go and listen to each other and work. Yeah. They're worried, you know, write it down.
Well, they're in the fridge, Nettie.
I'll have a cup.
Yeah, I'm turning it on.